So here is going to be the Triceratops magnet. What you will need, here are all the items here. I'll go through them. Here is my giant stack of egg cartons. I said because I used to have chickens, probably will in the future again, but said I always stockpiled those. So there is that. Remember when I said last night that you will have 12 Triceratops in the end if you use one of those. You can also use styrofoam. You can use any for this particular project. That's fine. Any material type. Whatever paint you have, I had all of those green ones, Rust-Oleum. It doesn't matter what kind of paint it is. Spray paint is the best and easiest way to do it. We did just washable markers, Crayola markers in our den, and they got the markers all over their fingers. And they said it's just much faster, much easier, not to mention if you want to let your kids spray paint, it's just, they find it more fun, like they learn something cool. So anyways, I said much more fun, entertaining to spray paint it. So that's what I'm using this time, easier route. And then I have cupcake liners. These are this color, so they're kind of springy. Then I have some creepy Halloween colors with some spider webs too. And then I got, maybe I'll do some Chiefs colors. You know, you got the red paint and some yellow. You will need some sort of a skewer, or I said here is a kitchen timer. But the purpose for me using it is going to be the point. You need something that's pointed. It's going to be poking through those egg cartons, and then wide enough that it's going to make a hole that a pipe cleaner could fit through for you. Just to solve two problems, do two tasks at once. That's what I'm using as a kitchen timer. Not a timer, a thermometer. I don't know what my thing is with words. Sandwich bags, I'm obviously out, but these are the bags I've been using. And then googly eyes to put on your Triceratops so he has some eyeballs. I grabbed 1 pack of pipe cleaners. You will only need, if you are only doing 12, like one thing of 12, you'll only need 5 pipe cleaners. So that's why I already got 5 sitting out. 5 is plenty. And then your magnets, said I picked those up from Walmart. And there they are up there. And then my scissors to be cutting a few things. We will actually be cutting the pipe cleaners and the egg cartons with scissors. And you see that those are the big kid scissors, not the little Friskars for kids. I will recommend that the parents probably, or the elder said lions and tigers and wolves. I would already have the cutting done in this specific project, which is cutting of the egg cartons that you'll see and the pipe cleaners, just because it's more manageable. Pipe cleaners could poke the kids. It's just, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And then those cards, the note cards to identify, who you are, what unit you're in, sign off, and put it in the bag at the very end. So there's what you need. Here we go. So you want to grab one of your egg cartons. You will separate it. Hold on, I'm going to move my video on my prop here so I can do this. There we go. You're going to tear this piece off. Should be pretty easy. If it's not, you can use your scissors that I just told you to grab. It's not going to matter if there's little pieces of the cardboard. You see how there's a little bit overhang. It's not a life or death situation. So there you go. There's that. And then you want to tear off the lid because you're not going to need that either. So same thing. You are making sure to preserve the egg side. You do. So when you're tearing it off, just make sure that you don't ruin that side of it. And then you're going to throw away these two pieces, the lid and that little secure the box closed part. Those are trash. So now you have just the side where the egg sat. Now you're going to use the paint, whatever you have for the skewer, which was my thermometer with the point on the end. First, you're going to poke a hole in the very end of where that would be the egg sitting in it. Go all the way through. I kind of circle it around so it makes it a bigger hole for that pipe cleaner later. Again, it just saves me the time and the whining of my little munchkin because I have a Cub Scout. So just said food for thought if you would like to think you might have the same issue as me. That's one hole on the bottom. I'll show you when I'm all done here. Hold on. And again, this is prepping to make 12 Triceratops. You might even have a six egg carton, you know, whatever you want to do. This is just a do-it-yourself video with 12. I always have 12 in my house. So there it is, this picture that they are on one hole on each end. So that's going to be where his nose horn is going to come out of. Now you need his two horns on top of his head because he's a Triceratops, right? So you're going to poke 2 holes about right here and about right here. See that? I'm going to do that on every single one of these. Now, remember, if this is his nose, about when you're looking at it, like thinking wise, because this is probably the parents doing this poking part here as well. Again, if you are a lion or a tiger or a wolf Cub Scout at home, I would definitely recommend parents because we got a poking thermometer or skewer involved. So, okay, so think horns on top of the head and nose on the top. And then I'm just going to do that to all of them. So I'm going to do that and then I will show you what it looks like. Okay, so showing you all sides, and then I did that on the other side, and then they have their nose, of course. Okay, so now you are ready for paint. You have the holes poked, you have taken off the parts of the egg carton you don't need. Paint. Here we go. So I take my egg carton outside. I'm going to make these ones green. So I grab my paint, I take mine outside. We have always said I made this with my den before, and I came home and made more with my son, myself, but we've always just put it in the grass. So again, that's totally up to your preference. You could put it on a piece of cardboard as a backing and then spray paint. You could put it on a piece of paper, newspaper, and then spray paint. You know, it's up to you. So take my lid off my paint. I said, and sometimes you definitely need to do some practice sprays or something if your kid's learning how to, if your kiddo's never spray painted before. I know that my kiddo wanted to spray practice before he felt like it was a permanent deal when he went to go spray paint something. So, okay, so here we are. I'm gonna spray paint. Make sure you get all sides of the egg carton. That's something too. You don't want to miss that backside, especially if the kiddos are spraying it. That's something that my son actually gets kind of frustrated about because he almost always forgets that backside. So, just again, things I've learned from experience. Rather save everybody the trouble in the long run. Okay, so there you go. Green, 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 green. Okay, so you can see over here that I did red just yesterday. So we're gonna go inside. I would leave that sitting there wet, wherever you spray it, leave it there until it dries. So that's gonna be there, and we are gonna go pick up with the red that I started yesterday. So, here we are. Okay. So you have your 12, and you can see I cut a few off already. What you're going to do is cut each one out. This one you can see slightly different kind of egg carton as well. It's more like a square, and rather than the other one was rounded. The key here, and why I say parents of lions and tigers and wolves, caution and probably let the adults do this, is you can see there's ridges on this particular egg carton right here. So having kids have at it, they might get frustrated. They might cut something they don't want to, and they might be frustrated that they think they might have ruined it, you know, etc. I'm sure you can fill in the blank there, but you want to cut it apart. So, and you will cut them all apart. Again, for the video's time being, I'm just going to do a few so we can keep moving. So you see how mine is. I dropped one. That's okay. I'll get it later. But there's that. It says still have 6. So I am going to work with that one. And you can see I have all my others over here. So I have a ton. So pick one. It really doesn't matter what one you use. Now you need your pipe cleaners. So remember I had 5. Your horns on the top of the head are going to be a little bit longer than the one in the nose. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so when you go, these are your horns. Your pipe cleaners are your horns. When you go to cut, I would cut, let's do 2 at a time to be safe. Your horn on the nose, probably about 1 inch. See that? So 1 inch for the nose. And then the horns on the top of the head. With my den, I did 2 inches, and then I let them decide if they wanted to fold it over and then poke the end in the hole, which would be those top holes that you poked in the top. Or they could, they still had 2 inches, so 2-inch length, and then they could have just curled it on the backside, which nobody will see in the end. So we're going to do 1 inch for the nose on the front and 2 inch for the horns on the top of the head. Obviously, you want 1 nose and 2 tall horns. So I go ahead and cut out all your pipe cleaners so you have that. We were doing the same color for all the horns just so it looked right. But I said that's totally up to you. Maybe he grew and he sprouted horns in different colors. I said that's totally an individual decision. Maybe he wants to be a rainbow, you know, that's fine with me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut them all up as if I was making all of the Triceratops right now, even though I'm only going to make one for the video, but at least then you see me and see time-wise how long it takes. Okay. And then the white one, I thought it would be fun to have one that was red with a yellow back and then white horns for kind of even more Chiefs colors. So that's why I have this one in there, thrown in there. Okay. So then I pick one of those sets because you only need one if you're making one. I am going to go with one of the green ones. You can put all the others aside. Move them to the side so you don't get confused what we got going on here. So you're going to put the nose, so the shortest of the 1 inch one, the shortest of the pipe cleaners right through there in the middle. And then you're gonna angle it up for the time being. You're gonna make a U shape so it holds it in place on the back side. On the front, you're going to angle it upwards. See that? So it looks like his horn is kind of just straight up in the air. Then you want his 2 side horns. They are going to go in the top, which I actually did that upside down. It doesn't really matter because you can always move the pipe cleaner wherever you want. So his 2 horns in the top of his head, those are the 2 longer pipe cleaners you just cut. They're going to go in the top. We do the same thing on the back. You're going to do an L-shaped curve, and then on the front you can curve the horn however you want. That's totally up to you. But that back side needs to be an L so it holds it in place. We kind of did bull horns in the past. I'll show you here in a minute. Fingers are kind of in the way. So there you go. So there's the front. And here is the back where I did L's to hold them in place. So you can see his Triceratops horns. Now your next step is going to be the ray, which would be, I say it's a ray because that's what we're making, but it really is like the fan that goes on the back of his head. That's what you use the cupcake holders for. I am going to pick, so just grab one of your cupcake, they're holders, they're fillers, they're these. Grab one of those, put it face down so the whatever color it is facing up. It could be a solid color, it could be a pattern color, whatever cupcake wrappers you grabbed. Flatten it out. And you want the colors facing up. I said because we want the colors. That's the cool part. Flatten it out and then fold it in half, still with the colors facing out. See, colors are still facing out. Now, this is going to be your goal. You're going to go over to your hot glue gun, which I did not have on our supplies list, but you also need a hot glue gun. That's because it's not right here on this counter. It's on one of my other counters. You are going to hot glue it to the back like this. Take 2 of your googly eyes with you at the same time because you're going to glue your eyeballs on as well when we are over there by the glue gun. So I said grab 2 of your eyeballs. And I said this is what your ray will look like on the back of his head when it's glued on. So take this with you and go to your glue gun wherever it's at. Here we are over by the glue gun now. And I still have my eyeballs, they're here, and the ray, and the 3 horns that are inside my painted egg carton. We are going to put the ray on the back of the head first. Now, how I did this last time, remember you have these pipe cleaners that are kind of around, hanging out? I put some hot glue on each one of those to secure it in place so it will not move again. So I'll do that first. And again, this is a parent job. If we have lions and tigers and wolves, this is not what they should be handling. They should not be touching a glue gun. So, and my glue gun's about to go out. Replace it. Some more glue in there. Here's another hint. It doesn't really matter where you put the glue. The whole point is, like I said, that it's securing it for the, if somebody shakes it or jostles it around when you're done, that those pipe cleaners don't go anywhere else. So that was the first thing. Put the glue in there, let it sit for a few minutes so that glue dries. There's a picture of what I did. And I said I'm going to let it, give it 1 or 2 minutes. So sit still. Hang in there with me. I don't have a skip for this, but we will be putting the back of the head on next. Secured the pipe cleaners. So the ray is going to attach to the top of the head. So that whatever side you have those 2 horns attached to, they're up here. I need to attach it to the back of this. So you're going to put a line of hot glue right there. There's my hot glue. And then put your ray right on there. This will be slightly hot to the touch. As long as it is attached, that is what matters. Like you see, I'm not holding my fingers on it like that until it cools off, until it's not so hot. Cools off a little bit, and it will. I'm just letting you know that that's totally fine because it is hot glue. So what would you expect, right? If you want to attach the cupcake, if there's anything else to attach it to, on mine there isn't. But if there's other sides that it can be glued to, go ahead and do that. You folded it, so remember it's still kind of hanging out back here, right? Okay, so you need to put a dot of glue on each of the on 3 sides. So put a dot of glue on the inside here, on a dot there, and a dot there. 3 dots. That is just so it doesn't flap around all the time anymore. It is permanent in space, just like those pipe cleaners were that you secured permanent. They don't get to do whatever they want anymore. And again, these are going to be hot. So just tap it and let it sit there. So here is what I have so far. And don't forget, like I said, I have my little nose guy down there. Okay, so your eyeballs are gonna go, it's kind of obvious now, you can kind of see the Triceratops, right? Your eyeballs are gonna go right here. There's also some crazy eyeballs, like they have all different looks to them that I saw at Walmart. I put a dot. So if you want to get those crazy eyeballs, more power to you. They looked kind of silly. I'm sure they would make someone laugh because they made me laugh. I actually bought some for my classroom because I'm always a parent for parties next year, so that we can do some craft with those. So there you go. Now he has his eyeballs and he's just drying. Woo! You have a Triceratops. You still need to make him a magnet. So now he's a Triceratops and he's sitting there. If I can get him, there we go. I'm gonna let him sit there while I get my magnet. And your magnet you're going to put right on the back of his, so here is his back. All you see is the egg carton and that ray on the back of his head. I'm going to put the magnet right there with glue. So you want to put a glue right there. Again, the glue is hot. So just forewarning, do not touch right on the other side of it. I hold it in place for a few seconds. And then I set it down. So at this point, it's all together. It's just drying. All that glue is drying. He is a Triceratops. He's ready to go. And he's pretty cute. So I said there he is. Sitting up so I can, and he's done. Yay! Triceratops! Whoa! Googly eyes!